Cyclone Gabrielle hit, the house we had just bought got nailed. So we had to move straight out. And I had all these other chips in the air, like, you know, the building and the development. I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, like I've got way too much on my plate. It was dark days for sure. Like it was hard to get through. When things are going bad, it's really hard to stay positive.
Joel, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So was that your best shirt?
This is my best shirt, mate. I'm still the builder at the end of the day, eh? We're not the best presented guys. we mean well.
It's so funny, yeah, like a builder's closet. You probably open it up and you're like, so you're saying this shirt's worse than that one that you had in the closet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My wife was like, oh my God, you've just left this till now, Joel.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, I love it, mate. I love it. We've had some builders coming here with high vis and all sorts, eh? We had like one guy with a high vis, he had like a sort of like an orange high vis on.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe take the jumper off. And he took his jumper off and he had like a yellow high vis underneath.
No, you know what, mate? Just leave it on.
Yeah.
I think we're right.
Put it back on, yeah. It was, who was that? I can't remember now who that was. But he was a cracker. No, but thanks for coming on, man. So I want to talk a little bit about all elements. You know, we talked a little bit off air, and obviously you have a building business, Macreadie, and you've been involved with some developments and been involved in starting an earth moving business and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I want to kind of cover all those things off. But
cool.
Firstly, tell me a little bit about where you grew up. Like, are you from Auckland or where you?
I'm from Rotorua, actually.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Bay of Plenty. So
cool. I love Rotorua. That's my kids' favourite holiday spot. Rotorua.
Oh, it's a great place. It's a really cool place. Like, you're pretty much an hour away from everything. You know, you got beaches, lakes, hiking, riding. It's a really cool place to grow up.
Just smelly though, eh?
Yeah, but you get used to it.
Yeah. If you live there, you don't even smell it.
You really don't. I notice it now when I go. I'm like, whew. Yeah. But when you're there, you don't notice it.
All that sulfur, and it's the sulfur, right? And the volcanic rocks and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So your parents, what did they do in Rotorua?
My mum's a solo mum, so I just grew up with her, and cool. She had multiple jobs. You know, she just kind of held it down for us, and
when you
just all sorts.
Yeah. I grew up. My mum was solo mum as well, and they start hustling, eh? Like, my mum's became like a real estate agent. Start hustling out there, trying to make some money. You know, because you got many siblings, or is it just you?
Just one.
Yeah. What, you and one other?
Yeah. Younger brother.
Oh, okay, cool. You're the older brother.
Yeah.
You had to hold it down a little bit.
The responsibility that falls with it. Yeah. So I think growing up seeing mum, work so hard. It's pretty impressive. When you look back at it now, you don't realise when you're growing up at the time, but you look back now. Yeah. Impressive, hey?
Done a good job.
She did a good job.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. And how was that like being the older brother? Did you find like there was more sort of on your shoulders, like more responsibility to kind of?
I guess so. I've got a great relationship with my younger brother. He actually works for us as well.
Cool.
So, I guess there's always that responsibility, that you are the older brother and you got to look out for him. I guess it just comes part and parcel, I think.
Yeah. And so he's a builder too?
Yeah. He moved up. He started his apprenticeship up here in Auckland, and then he went back home and finished it with a friend of mine, and then decided to come back up after that again. So
okay. So who were you as a young boy? Were you a bit wild? Were you a bit chill?
Nah, man, I was a good boy, eh?
That's good. Mum would be happy to hear that.
Yeah.
What was were you like into sport and stuff like that, or what did you get up to when you were like young?
I tried a lot of, not a lot. I tried a few different sports. A little bit of rugby. You wouldn't tell now. But,
halfback or something?
Yeah. Lock.
Love it.
Yeah, a bit of rugby. I played hockey for a season. I never really got into that. It didn't take. But yeah, I think that's probably about it. I was more into, I was always into building at a young age. So doing that kind of thing, and arts,
Cool. Like what sort
drawing,
of, like just drawing and
painting,
doodling?
yeah, doodling,
cool.
that kind of stuff. So yeah, I like to think I was a pretty chill kid. I don't know.
How would your friends have described you if you asked them? They were like, what would they say?
Quiet, reserved. Yeah, I don't think I was super outgoing when I was young. Just probably just mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's funny, like there's different elements to it, because sometimes when kids are quiet, people sometimes just assume that they're shy, but some kids are not shy at all. They just sort of chill. They're just happy to go with the flow,
yeah,
and like my middle daughter's a bit like that,
yeah,
where
yeah,
people sometimes go, she's a bit shy or whatever. She's not really shy. She's just not. She doesn't have to say
yeah.
something every second.
Doesn't feel like she has to tell everyone her opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she'll just be like quiet and like comfortable in her skin. Like I think that's
yeah. It's a good way to be.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And so okay, so you tried a little bit of sport. In terms of school, like so you liked more the arts, and which subjects did you like enjoy as a kid?
So I went to Rotorua Boys, and I was kind of into mainly just art and graphics. You know.
Did you guys have
So
like a art class, and you had to carry those like
yeah,
big
mate. Yeah,
black folders
yeah, the
around?
whole shebang. Yeah.
Yeah.
um,
See, I didn't even know. Like, I remember I was like 7 form, and one of my mates were like, or he must not have been a mate, because he told me he was going into art class, and I was like, what? You can do art?
yeah.
I didn't know.
That sounds cool. As
Yeah.
let's just
I
chill
looked
and do
through the
that.
window. I was like, people in there like drawing and
Just
stuff.
hanging out.
I'm like
Yeah.
as a subject, because I was doing. My parents made me like do like chemistry, physics,
Yeah.
like all those sort of lame ass subjects.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't even know you could do like a cool subject like art. You know.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's pretty good.
It was just it was like a hangout with your mates, you know.
Yeah. Super chill.
Yeah,
like,
it was cool as.
don't work too fast. You know.
Yeah. No one really cared. The teacher was chill as.
So was there like any sort of woodwork? Did you do woodworking at your school? Was there that, or was it just, did you just sort of dip into this sort of thing through art?
Well, I think we did a mix. You know, when you first start high school, you kind of do a bit of everything. And I wasn't at high school for too long, so I didn't really get far enough to really devote into woodwork or anything too serious like that.
Yeah.
I think I made it to 16 at high school just. I was kind of going and kind of not going.
Yeah.
And Mum said, well, if you're not going to school, you might as well go and get a job. And that's when building kind of came up for me. Someone actually came through the high school actually and did a presentation on apprenticeships and like a pre-trade course.
Cool.
I think it was just good timing. Mum gave me that ultimatum, and I was like, actually, I've got just the idea. So yeah, I hit them up, the guys that came to the school, about this pre-trade, and yeah, they chucked me into it, and that was that.
Awesome. So what was involved there in the pre-trade? Was it like a bit of a course, or
Yeah,
like work experience and stuff, or?
Yeah, so it was a Monday to Friday. I think the course was about 6 months, and we'd do theory in the morning, and from lunchtime till 3:30 or 4 o'clock or whatever it was, we'd be in the workshop, making all sorts of weird things that they'd have us doing. But it was super cool. Like, I met a ton of really cool guys there, guys that are still really good mates today, you know. So yeah, that was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me, you know, going to that course and starting that journey.
And did you find did you kind of like start to feel like as soon as you went there, did you start to feel like, I'm liking
I'm
this?
in on this. This is cool. Yeah. And it wasn't strict. It's like the tutor we had there was super chill. We always used to laugh. You could barely understand the words that came out of his mouth. He'd like muttered the whole time. So we still laugh about that. But it was really chill. The building was fun, and again, it was like a hangout with some mates, and we got to play with some tools and put some cool shit along the way, and yeah. And then it was definitely a shock. I probably got comfortable there. I was like, yeah, no, this building's for me, man. This is great. I could do this forever. And then when we got placed into a real life building site, it was definitely different to, to hanging out with your
Bit of a
mates in
shock to the
workshop.
system.
Yeah.
So what was that like? First day walking on site?
It was hard, eh? It was hard, man. We were still digging footings. Like the guys, they wouldn't get diggers in. So we'd just dig a whole house of footings. We spent like 2 weeks on a shovel.
Worst time to start your apprenticeship there?
Yeah, like you'd think the first day was hard on the shovel, but that was when your blisters started. It was the second day when you went to work with blisters already. That was the worst. So yeah, it was definitely a shock. And there were probably times where I was like, well, maybe this building thing ain't for me.
When it got hard, eh? You're like, nah, maybe not. So a lot of like digging holes, a lot of the hard stuff. And were you apprenticeship then? Apprentice then?
Apprentice.
And was there another apprentice there? Or was it just you?
That was just me. Yeah. So
how'd the guys treat you on site?
They were good. They were good to me. They were hard but fair. You know,
yeah, that's good.
They didn't take any shit, and you went to work. You weren't hanging out with your mates anymore. You know, they were mates. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, we weren't there for a hangout session.
yeah. Not like the course, right?
Yeah, that's right.
This episode is brought to you by Forté, specialist in refined timber surfaces for inside and out. From elegant flooring and paneling to durable cladding and decking, Forté delivers unparalleled performance where it matters most. Their products are crafted to elevate every space, combining natural beauty with technical precision and enduring design with innovation. Discover more at forte.co.nz. Okay, and then so how many years did it take you to get qualified?
Maybe 4 years. Nearly 5, I'd say. Yeah.
And was it quite, sometimes those first like year and two, I talk to a lot of builders and they say that first year and a bit, it's quite tough because you don't feel like you're sort of getting anywhere. You're sort of just floundering.
It really is. Yeah. And it's, you're trying to absorb as much information as you can and learn as you go. So you don't really feel like you can stop and enjoy just building something because there's so much information coming at you and you just don't know enough. So yeah, it wasn't enjoyable. I reckon probably in about my third year, I started to really enjoy building. You can really think a bit more for yourself. You can go and read some plans and understand. You can go to work in the morning, discuss what you're going to do for the day, and just go and do it without having to hassle someone or do something wrong and get a grilling.
Yeah, I think people underestimate how difficult it is for apprentices, because you number one is you're going to a brand new job that you've never done before, right? Mostly, and then secondly, you get the hardest jobs on site, the most physically demanding. So you're always probably smashed, tired.
Yeah,
I've done labouring and stuff, been a hammer hand and that. You're smashed,
Yeah,
and then thirdly, you then have to study at the same time as you're doing all this, right? So it's quite full on, and
it is.
People may just think, you're just out there just getting your brooms license or something, but it's it's actually quite full on,
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I think if you can get through your first kind of 2 years of your apprenticeship without breaking down and quitting, you're probably going to be just fine. Just got to push through, I think.
And then when you got qualified, how did that feel? When you've got that?
Oh, that was great, eh? That was bloody great.
How long was it until you start thinking about, when you're moving on, starting your own business, doing your own thing, or did you stay around for a while?
Oh, it was still a while after that. I think it's just because you got your ticket, it certainly doesn't mean you're good to go, kind of thing. I'm still learning now, like I don't think you've ever learnt everything in this trade.
Yeah.
That's the kind of cool thing about it. There's always something different. There's always something new to learn. But yeah, I definitely, there's a few more years before I really felt confident in myself, after being qualified, that's for sure.
Yeah. And how did you make the transition? So when you were kind of ready to do your own business, like how did you kind of get into, was there did you line up like a job?
That's right. So I was on my way to Australia, really. And I was my cousin lives up here, and I got a great relationship with him, and he's a builder as well. And I moved up, and he worked for his dad, my uncle. And the idea was I'd come up, I'd work with them in the company for a year or so, and then carry on. But I met a girl, as you do. So things started to get, a bit more serious there, and Australia started to, go out the window a bit. And I kind of thought, well, I never thought I'd end up in Auckland, but, if this is where I'm going to be for a while, I should probably sort something out for myself, and, we're going to do this, put some roots down a little bit and try something. And that's kind of where the idea started to do that. And working towards implementing it was more like cashies on the weekend, and just, doing extra work here and there, the odd jobs. And as that kind of grew, was becoming a problem and almost spilling over into the Monday to Friday main job kind of thing. So it was basically stop doing this in the weekends, or take the leap and fully commit to it and see where it goes.
Yeah. And then you took the plunge?
Took the plunge, mate. And I think I was definitely young to do it. I think I was about 24 when I did it. So yeah, when I think about it now, it's pretty crazy, eh? Like, you don't realize how much goes into, running a business or growing a business or doing all that. Building the house is the easy part. There's all the stuff behind the scenes that no one else sees, and especially when you're going out on your own to start, you go and work a full day, and then you got to go home and back cost the job and look at, are you even making any money off this job? You got to look at where the new job's coming from, and then finding time to go out and meet new clients and price new jobs and hold down the general jobs you're trying to do, because that's what's getting you paid in the meantime. So it was a lot.
Yeah, it's full on, eh? Like, so did you find you had like a more of an appreciation for your old like boss? And
Totally. Yeah.
Like maybe that he wasn't as shit as I thought.
Yeah, I started to feel a bit guilty about all the stick you gave him, eh? I know you're at home having a sleep.
Yeah. It's like, oh, knocking off early, are we? And it's mate, paperwork's waiting. Okay, and then you took the plunge. What were some of the mistakes you made? Can you remember, like early on?
Oh,
like business wise?
I think underpricing jobs is probably the main one, because you just don't know. Like, all you've done is built for someone. You've had nothing to do with the pricing up until this point. I didn't know. So not quoting right was a thing that definitely hurt.
And how open was builders back then to like share information? And...
Nah, not at all. Like, you're on your own, mate. Like, you figure it out yourself.
Would you ever like try ask someone for some, was it just sort of like they give you like just a few crumbs and
if that, they're trying to pick up scraps off the floor, mate.
So you sort it out, mate.
Yeah. So it wasn't until I kind of got engaged with a QS to start, where I actually started to make some money and not building for free. So yeah, that was probably a pretty hard lesson to learn.
Yeah, it's definitely like a building business is there's just so many moving parts, and it's high risk.
lot of variables.
A lot of variables. You got to have you got to sort of have your finger on everything at the same
Yeah,
time, like you say.
yeah,
The work you've done, the work you're going to do, making sure you're making money.
yeah.
That's the hardest part, like
Oh,
the
I know.
profitability side.
If you're not making money, mate, you just what are you doing? You might as well
Yeah,
go and work for someone
I
and
know.
not have the stress.
Yeah. And there's a lot of builders working out there. If they had to work out the hourly rate, it'd be pretty poor.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say
Um,
so.
and most business owners, when you're running a small business, your hourly rate's probably not that good.
Yeah,
In a lot of
minimum
ways.
wage
Yeah.
at best.
Yeah. So let's talk about your business, Macreadie.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys, do you guys cover like the whole of Auckland or just like parts of Auckland? Or where's your sweet spot?
At the moment, just kind of focusing on West.
Yeah.
As Auckland's so big,
Yeah.
I want to spend an hour and a half driving, to the other side of town.
Yeah.
So we try and just focus out West. And yeah, like I said, we're doing some nice jobs at the moment, but we've recently been doing some building on a development we worked on. That's kept us busy the last couple of years.
Yeah.
4 houses on that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I want to talk about that because like that development side, the property side, I think most builders, it's like a natural progression, right, for them to kind of do that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to park there. I'm going to come back to that. With Macreadie, like give me an idea of your company right now. Like how big is your team? Like what type of projects do you guys currently work on?
We're just custom stuff really. We're building a really custom home at the moment. Interior designer, architect and client quite involved in this. A lot
Cool.
of fine detailing, a lot of thought into every aspect of this build. It's a small house, but the level of detail and what the architect and designer and client is expecting of us is really high. So it's taken a lot of time.
You enjoy that, like the architectural work?
Yeah, really satisfying. It's can be a bit tedious and punishing, messing around with little things for hours, getting something perfect because nothing is factory. Like there's everything we've done on this house is not off the shelf at all. Everything's custom. So it just takes time and patience to figure it all out and get it perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably just like not feeling like you're efficient sometimes, when you're just like working through
Most of the time we feel like we're not efficient. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, why is this taking so long?
Yeah. And I assume that's not on a fixed price contract.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Or learned from COVID.
I mean, the scope, when we started this job, it was meant to be a renovation. It was this beautiful old batch, and the idea was to keep the character and the charm of the batch. But when we started pulling it apart, it literally fell apart around us. And then we got to the foundations, and the floors were 100 mil out in some areas. There was a dummy floor built over the original floor. So we ended up pulling all the foundations out and literally starting again.
Wow.
So the scope creep on this job has been huge. The client is really good about it, thankfully.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Well, they're both great. But yeah, they've been really good about it. And I think they know that they're getting an amazing home at the end of the day. But yeah, it's if we had priced that, I would literally be in the office 24/7 writing variations.
Yeah.
I would not be on site at all.
So so do you guys do like multiple or just one project at a time, or?
Yeah, just focus on kind of 1-2 tops at a time. We earlier on, when I was kind of trying to grow the company and figure out where we wanted to be and what we wanted to do, we had multiple projects going on, but I also felt I wasn't across the board on everything. I was definitely spread too thin, and I think that reflected in some quality as well. So
Yeah.
it's not. I definitely didn't. I don't want that long term. Like when I focus on the quality and want things to be perfect, I want to be like really proud when you stand back or you hand the house over. Be really proud of what we've done as a team.
Yeah, I feel like the pendulum swung a little bit, like it's because even pre-COVID, it was very like everyone was like so focused on like scaling and like getting bigger and running like multiple projects and
It was
software
definitely that
and,
mentality though, wasn't it? Yeah.
and getting you off the tools ASAP.
Yeah.
And I see the benefit obviously in that, running an actual business and you're not so involved in everything and all that, and you can scale and you can make more money. But I have seen the pendulum kind of come back the other way now as well,
Yeah.
where people are starting to realize like, oh, there's also like a level of stress and stuff that people don't, that are not healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not everything has to be like scaled and efficient to the max all the time, always, you know?
Yeah. When we were honking and we had, quite a few builders, we had 15 at one point, I would have anxiety when my phone rang. I was like, what is it going to be this time? Like I felt like I was just putting out fires all day. So when my phone rang, I was like, what's it going to be? So
Yeah. It's like not a great way to exist. Like, I mean, if you do that for a season, it is what it is. But
yeah,
you don't want to do that for like 10 years, year on year on year, just like walking around like with anxiety all day, right?
Yeah. No, it wasn't. I didn't enjoy that. So, and I also wasn't I had no time to put my tool belt on and do what I am passionate about, what I love doing. So dialing it back, more focusing on this kind of thing, it means I can get in there amongst with the team, and it's nice for the team to see me on site as well, get that morale up and make it feel like we're all a team,
How do you do that? How do you keep that like morale up? How do you keep that like, how do you cultivate like good culture and like the team like sort of, I don't want to say keep them motivated because people have to be kind of self-motivated, right? But like, how do you keep like the team kind of charging? Because I found that the hardest thing to do in business is that sort of people management side can be quite tough, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think getting on the level with your team is good. Like I said, getting back in there on the tools, getting beside them, showing them that you like go and dig a hole. Like, I'll jump on a spade and dig a hole. If we have to dig a hole, I'll dig a hole. It's that kind of thing. You're never too good to go and do something like that, or you're never too high to just go and sweep a floor or something. So doing that kind of thing shows the team that you're invested. It's not just them getting yelled at on the floor, do this or do that. So I think that's a big thing for me. And I guess it kind of how I treat my team as well. I like to think instead of saying do it like this or do it like that, making it more of an open conversation. Like, hey, what if we looked at it like this, or what do you think about this, or if I was doing it, I'd probably do it like that. Get them involved in the decision making for whatever you're working on at the time, and then I think they feel probably a bit more invested into doing whatever that portion of the job is that you might be doing at the time.
I think that's smarter, getting that buy-in.
Yeah.
Do you don't have a whip on site anymore?
No, I got rid of that.
Oh, we might have to get rid of our whip in the office, I think, then. I want to do that. But yeah, no, I think that makes sense, like having the guys have buy-in, not feeling like it's just like boss, employee, like, clocking in, clocking out.
I think it's an old school building mentality. When I first started my apprenticeship, I think it was, I know it was quite like that, where I'd have things thrown at me or, that kind of thing for doing something stupid. But I think that culture is changing, and I think it is up to us as well to change that culture.
Yeah. Because you want an overall like nice working environment, and guys will stay for longer.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of older guys, younger guys? What's the breakdown?
No, we're kind of all around the mid-20s to mid-30s.
Cool.
Yeah.
A lot of energy on site.
A lot of energy, yeah. A lot of banter.
A lot of banter.
Yeah.
Is there still banter on your site? People still give each other shit?
Oh, we still call each other out, And I think that it keeps everyone honest too, like if someone does something that's average or sub-average even, you're like, fuck, that's pretty shitty, mate? Like, come on, man. And it makes you not want to do shit work because you're like, far out, if old mate sees this, he's gonna be on my ass for weeks about this. Remember that time you chiseled that catch out and it looked like shit and we had to fill it? You're like, fuck, yeah, I remember. we not let that one go yet, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's good, eh?
Yeah,
Good to have that, like, and it also creates that honesty and around the at work as well, which is kind of cool.
yeah.
So you guys work on obviously cool projects, architectural projects. Like, how do you guys get a lot of the work? Like, is it just like through networks or referrals, or do you guys do any marketing or like anything, anything special to kind of help you?
Relationships, I think. It's probably just more relationships than anything for us, with architects and designers and that kind of thing is probably where the bulk of it comes from. I don't think I'm getting any amazing jobs from advertising on Facebook or that kind of thing.
Yeah. So how do you keep that relation? Is it just like touching base, catching up for coffees and
phone call? I think a phone call goes a long way to someone you haven't spoken to in a couple of months, even, or a architect you did a job for, I don't know, 2-3 years ago and you haven't spoken to them. Just a phone call. Hey, how's it going? What are you up to? Check in with them. You don't particularly have to be asking for work, but just a check in, refresh them, let them know, then you're at the top of their head again, because you've touched base. You haven't asked for a job or anything. You just check it in.
Yeah. A quick shout out to Forté supporting today's episode. They work across flooring, wall surfaces, exteriors, and more. But what sets them apart is how their timber performs over time. Forté is trusted by architects, designers, and builders, not just for their materials, but for the way they support projects from vision to completion. It's about enriching connections and creating something built to last. Learn more at forte.co.nz. And with your, what's your crew mix at the moment? Like how many qualified versus?
We're all qualified.
Everyone's qualified?
Yeah.
You got females and dudes, right?
Yeah.
So you got
two
like
girls.
dudes and girls.
Yeah.
Chicks and dudes. What's that been like? How long have you had like females? Because that's like a big thing, right? Over the last sort of 5 years.
Yeah.
A lot more females coming into the industry.
Yeah.
What's some pros and cons of having get you cancelled? So pros and cons of having females on site.
They're great to have around. Like they definitely dial down the boys and their their somewhat bad mouths on site sometimes. So
guys better behaved.
Yeah. Keeps everyone a bit more reined in, eh?
Yeah.
No, but they're great. I've had Brenna. She's our longest. She straight out of school. She's gone all the way through her apprenticeship, done her LBP, and now she's doing her project management course.
Cool.
And
a hustler.
Yeah. So she's doing really good. And Hannah, she's done her apprenticeship through us as well. And she is now pregnant. So this is a whole new territory for me to navigate, having a pregnant woman on site.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because what do you do different? What's the vibe? You kind of carry like heavy staff, obviously. So there's some mitigating factors there.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to put her up ladders. That kind of thing. So we're definitely, everyone on site is conscious about saving jobs that are appropriate for her. It's definitely new territory for me to navigate, and I haven't figured it all out yet. So I'll keep you posted on it. But yeah, it's good. It's good, and she seems to be enjoying it. Everything seems to be going well for her. We've reduced her hours because she's kind of coming into her third trimester now. So things are starting to get more difficult for her.
Yeah, for sure.
So she's knocking off a bit earlier now, and we'll see how that goes, and we'll reassess it in a couple of weeks and decide whether or not we need to drop her down to 4 days a week, maybe have a Wednesday off, and do a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday kind of setup.
Yeah.
Just because she is getting more fatigued.
She will like get more like puffed and walking around
Yeah.
upstairs and things. Even like, I just remember when my wife, every time she's been pregnant, it's like definitely harder.
Yeah,
on the
totally.
body.
She's a champ, she handles it and carries it really well, but I think it's my responsibility to, police that, because she won't say anything.
Yeah.
I got to make her take a break and tell her to go home almost, like, get out of here, man. You need to go and rest, put your feet up or something, because, she wants to work as long as possible, but she won't make it as long as possible if we don't, start reducing and getting her there. So yeah,
That's definitely like something that for you it's probably like, how do I navigate this?
Yeah.
But open communication and all that sort of stuff is probably the best way to kind of navigate all that. But that's cool. That's awesome. So in terms of the guys and everyone are obviously enjoying having females on site. It's funny because it does change the dynamic, and sometimes you can't be as boisterous.
Yeah.
But then at the same time also like it brings a bit more like what's the right word? Like it kind of like it evens everyone out a little bit more. It's a bit more well-rounded, probably working environment.
Yeah,
Just having a bunch
it's
of
a nice
dudes around
balance.
farting and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you'll be surprised with these getting there.
So, so your company, Macreadie, like, how are you guys sort of like? It was hard to kind of answer that probably, but like, how do you guys see yourself sort of different out there in the market? Everyone wants to be kind of have their own kind of unique way of how they do things, but what do you guys kind of do that's sort of like unique to you?
Gosh, that's a tricky question.
It is it's a hard question because you have to be like, okay, we all build houses and stuff, but I think each building company really does have their kind of unique little elements that make them.
Yeah. I guess it's, gosh, I know. There's, I don't know. Honestly, mate, I really don't know.
See, I have this conversation with my other business with builders all the time.
Yeah.
And each builder does exactly what you just done now. You know what I mean? Because it's like,
because we're all just builders, right?
Yeah, they kind of end up going, oh, great quality. We do a good product and we're great. But it's like we're good builders. But it's I always trying to challenge them back. Like, there's definitely elements, like even if it's the way that you kind of handle your client and deal with your client, or the extra mile you go in certain areas, or there's always like a little, or a specific passion you have for like, whether it's like passive homes and you kind of really fizz on that, or like there's always like a little bit of a unique element there, I think. But
I guess it's just I guess more like the custom side and coming up with ideas. Like, we don't like doing anything that's mainstream. Like, the weirder the idea, the better for us.
Love it.
We're all really passionate about building, and I think we like to push the boundaries. Like, if you've got this crazy idea and someone says it can't be done, like we kind of want to prove you wrong. Like, it can be done. We'll build the shit out of that. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. So I guess that more that angle. I know it's cliche. Oh, we're custom builders kind of thing. But
no, I think it's good. Like, especially if it's because I mean, there are some custom builders that don't want things to be too weird, and but
it's nice to push the boundaries. Like, you want to walk past something you've built and it not look like the house down the road. Like, you want it to look different from everything else. So someone goes, oh, that was a Macreadie's build.
Little touches you can kind of tell. Yeah, that's cool. What sort of, because obviously there's a business element to it as well. How have you found like becoming a businessman over time, over the years? Like, has it sort of come to you naturally or not? Or
it's really challenging. It's.
Do you enjoy it? Do you like?
I do enjoy it. Yeah. I really enjoy business. It sounds weird, but I love doing a spreadsheet. I'm into Excel. So I think I definitely get into that side of things. And getting out of the office, buildings, obviously my passion, to chuck in the penny on as well. It's a nice balance for me. A bit of both.
So with the business side, which elements have you sort of had to work on the most? Which ones came the least natural to you over the years?
I think getting the pricing right is the biggest thing. I've always found it okay to deal with clients and have those kind of conversations, which you might not like to have, like, oh, we've got another VO, or oh, we got a problem here, and that's never been an issue for me to approach that. It's always the thing I've found hard is getting the numbers right on the build, and that's where we got a QS in to help us, and we kind of use a bit of a hybrid of what I think and what the QS thinks now. So I think at the end of the day, we are just builders. I'm not trained to do a takeoff, of a set of plans. So we definitely get someone in to help with that.
Yeah. What are the numbers that you look at that's super important to you as the business owner, like to make sure that you're on track?
Yeah, like where we're leaking money, kind of thing.
Something going over or whatever.
Yeah, and and that comes down to pricing the job right for us as well. If we're spending too much time doing an element of the job, have we undercooked it here? Like, why are we taking too much on? Do we have to do a variation? Is it something unseen? That's normally where we kind of would hemorrhage money initially. Yeah.
And do you think as builders that sometimes even the early years, they builders that are too nice, that's also where they like hemorrhaging there. It's like they try to be too nice and say, oh, we'll just do that. We'll just cover that. And we'll just,
You end up doing it for free. And then you get to the end of the job and you back cost it and you're like, wow, we didn't make anything. Actually that cost us money to do that. Let's not do that again.
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, you are running a business, and I was definitely like that at the start as well. Way too nice. But yeah, if you want to keep trading in the industry, you kind of have to keep a finger on the pulse with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can't give too much away. There's certainly a amount that you won't charge for, like, we're not going to charge for that kind of thing. But if you do it on everything, yeah, you're going backwards pretty quick.
How did you do it? Like, how did you learn to change from being Mr. Nice Guy to being firm but fair with clients?
I don't think it was like a clean cut flip of a coin change for me. I think it was more like a progressive thing over the years. Just slowly, a lot of lessons, small lessons along the way, kind of shaped me to who I am today. So yeah, just a gradual progression, I guess I would say.
Yeah. Talking about gradual progression, a lot of builders obviously have their building business.
Yeah.
And they start to see other opportunities, right? Like you're like, oh man, we're spending a lot of money here getting earth moving business in here, or we're spending a lot of money on scaffolding, or we're spending a lot of money on XYZ. And then they start to, obviously they accumulate assets, but even beyond that, they may even open different businesses, like I talked to a builder not long ago, and he opened a whole like scaffolding business.
Yeah.
Just because he was using a lot of scaffolding. And then with that comes a new business with new profit and loss and new sales need to come in and dealing with new clients. And he kind of mentioned to me that he got a bit like distracted because like it was probably better just to kind of keep the main thing. And you started earth moving business a while ago, like you've sold out of there recently, right? But what was that like? Is it something that you'd recommend? What was the process of doing that business, and why did you decide to like not continue?
I think that's probably part of it. Being a builder, you see the whole picture of the job. You're literally looking at everything, and you can start seeing where all the money's going in the job. You're like, holy moly, we're spending hundreds of thousands on earthworks over here. This dude's just got a digger and a truck. Like, come on. So I think that's where you kind of get caught up in it, and you're like, well, why don't we have diggers? We should have diggers. Let's get on to diggers, or let's get on to scaffolding. These guys are making a killing off us. We've got to buy scaffolding. So I think it definitely is easy to get roped in. I got involved in an earthworks company. There were 3 of us involved in it, and I think I was young. It was kind of pre-COVID and into COVID times, and we were the 3. I think the 3 of us were all quite strong-minded as well. Almost too many chiefs, not enough Indians kind of setup. And we all kind of had different visions of where the company would go, and different appetites for risk as well. So I ended up selling out of that. We grew the company a bit. I was involved for a couple of years, and it grew. It's doing really well. It's still trading really well today. The guy who's still was my business partner at the time, he's still running it and doing an amazing job of it.
But it was like, it's hard, right, to like run multiple
yeah,
businesses.
Yeah, definitely. And we were all friends as well. So, those hard conversations, and, we all wanted particular things, and we're all friends. So, yeah, I don't think probably wasn't healthy for us all long term going down that road.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on partnerships now? Like, do you, someone comes to you, go, yeah, I want to bring in a partner to my building business, or we want to start this business together, or whatever. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think joint ventures are bad at all. In fact, I think they're great, because if you have clear boundaries and you're really clear on what each person needs to do, and like roles and responsibilities, you hash that out up front. There's always going to be challenges to overcome, but if you're generally pretty clear on who's responsible for what and where it's going to go, I think it's great. Everyone brings a certain aspect. You got 2 people that can get into, your own network. Everyone's got their own kind of network, so you can kind of get a bit more of a further reach, I guess.
Yeah. It's definitely like, you got to get the right person.
Yeah.
And sometimes it helps if you have like, opposite skill sets and all that. But yeah, I think it does come down to the person ultimately, and making sure, if it's the right person, then you can talk, because it's a bit of a marriage,
Yeah. I mean, you got to go through everything together. So you got to be pretty brutally honest with each other. And I think that's where it's just important to have clear roles and responsibilities for each person, so you're not overlapping too much.
Yeah.
Stepping on each other's toes.
Yeah, for sure. You kind of decided then to do your own developments as well, right? Another progression for a lot of builders like that. You have the skill set to obviously build, and you understand all that. And so, yeah, what's that been like?
I mean, that's been a journey on its own. We had a lot of time. Well, I had a lot of time when COVID first hit, and I've always been passionate about property. So over COVID, while I was kind of not doing a hell of a lot, I was spreadsheeting tons of properties, like lots of different things, trying to figure out what are good deals, what aren't good deals. I certainly didn't have the money to do what I was trying to work at. I was just looking at it because it's an interest of mine, and it was fun for me, I guess. Spreadsheets, mate. I'm into it. I'm a weirdo. So this one particular one came up, and I'd done some kind of high level numbers on it, and I was like, oh, this might have some merit actually. So I looked into it further and really broke the numbers down, and I was looking at it going, this has got some good margin. This could be really good. I certainly don't have that kind of cash, and we had built a house probably 2 years earlier for someone in Kumeu, this big, beautiful farm style house, really nice. And the client at the time had said that they were quite keen to get into property a little bit, get involved with that. And I didn't take too much notice of it at the time, because I was so focused on, growing my company and this earthworks company and 100 miles an hour. I was steaming. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. Property's awesome. I love property too. Didn't take it anywhere. So I remembered that conversation. So I emailed her and said, hey, look, I've been having a look at this. Not sure if you're still looking at getting involved in property, but this could potentially be an opportunity. If you'd like to chat about it, I'll be more than keen. And then she rang me up and she was like, yeah, I'll come around tomorrow. And I was like, shit. So I was trying to rush and compile and put this whole presentation together, finalize all my numbers, get it all mapped out. And so she comes around, I have like my whole kitchen bench spread out with like this plan and numbers and all sorts of stuff. And so we sat down, I started going through it and pitching her on it. I was so nervous. And then by the end of it, she was like, yep. I was like, yep. What? She's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm in. Yeah, let's do it. I was like, come again?
Yeah. You're supposed to say no a few times.
Yeah. So that was amazing. I couldn't believe it. And yeah, that kicked off that journey for us. So yeah, she was like, well, go and negotiate the sale, see what we can get it for. So okay. So yeah, we went and did that, and we managed to pick up the property at a good time. It was after the first lockdown, and the sentiment in the market was kind of that the prices were going to crash. So we managed to buy it for a pretty good price. And then a couple of months later, the market just went nuts for like the next 2 years. Then it crashed, obviously. But so we brought it in a pretty good spot, negotiated well.
So kind of like multiple lot subdivision.
Yeah. So we were looking at an 8-lot subdivision. There were 2 properties there were 2 houses on the property already. They were all under the one title. So the idea was go in there, put the roading and the infrastructure in, cut 8 titles out of it, and the 2 houses would be on separate titles. So
Perfect.
I moved my family in to the main house down there, and we renovated that while we were living in there, and I was doing the development on the land. We sold the main house, sold the top house, and sold 2 sections, and everything was great. And then we had the other 4 sections left, and we had sold them to another developer. And we're all looking around at each other, high-fiving, like, this is great, how good. Wait, we do this all day. Where's the next one? Rack 'em and stack 'em, baby. And then, so the first 4 sales went through great, cool, paid down some debt, everything was good. We had a 6-month settlement on the last 4 sites. It was a developer. He had a low deposit because he had brought so many. So I was like, yeah, 4 sections, mate, whatever deposit you want. If we go in unconditional, we're cool. It got to about a week before he was meant to settle, and I was driving past and there was a sign out the front, urgent sale required. And I was like, oh, that doesn't look good. So I rang up my solicitor and I was like, can you get in touch with old mate, whoever's buying these sections, touch base with their solicitor, make sure we're still good for settlement next Thursday, to get a call back in half an hour. Oh, yeah, settlement's not looking good for Thursday. They've got no money. Okay, what's the issue? Can they get the money? Do they just need more time? Can we figure this out? Because I don't want the sale to fall over. And she comes back and says, look, he just needs more time. So we gave him a 2-week extension, which rolled into another 2-week extension on top of that. And then he literally had no money. There was no money coming ever. And then you had to notify to terminate the contract, even though it was unconditional. We had given them extensions and all this. I literally thought it was a walk away kind of deal. No, legally we still had to notify failure of payment, which was another couple of weeks. So the whole process was like 7-8 months that it took. And in that time, the market had turned. So we got stuck with 4 sections, a shit market, we literally couldn't even give these things away because the banks just weren't lending on it at the time. Building prices were going through the roof because of COVID, and then the supply for building materials into the country was down, so everything was so expensive, and it was only going up. And builders weren't giving fixed prices on anything at the time because we just couldn't give fixed prices because it was moving so rapidly. It was way too risky. So we ended up having to bring up the architect and get some houses drawn on these things. It was literally the only way to get through this. So we've just finished building the last of the 4 on the property, and we've got that on the market at the moment. We sold 1, and then we've got the other 2 as rentals. So
Cool.
that's kind of where we're at with the development at the moment. But yeah, it's certainly been a roller coaster, a lot of lessons learned.
You kind of like, you couldn't have picked a kind of a worse time market wise, right?
Mate, what a stitch up.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've got like an amazing, business partner and backer for it. She's been super understanding and, all the way through, really supportive. So we've worked through it together, and, it's going to be fine. We're coming out at the other end, and it's going to be okay. But yeah, it's certainly a lot of lessons and bad timing.
Yeah. No, I think I set you off here as well. I think it's great that you had the balls though to ask. You saw someone that was financially secure or had capital, and you had an opportunity. And as the builder, you had a lot of value to add, and to go ask for someone to partner with you, I think is awesome, because a lot of builders don't realize or recognize the value that they actually bring to a project like that.
Yeah.
Just like the experience and the knowledge of like how you're going to build the homes, or even the subdivision element. There's probably things that you probably knew way more than you even thought you knew.
Yeah, definitely.
Even with the excavation side and all that. So I think a lot more builders should, because you can sort of put your head down, like you say, right? You can get so focused that you sort of don't see opportunities.
Yeah.
And you don't notice people that could be potential backers. So there's probably a builder listening to this right now that is maybe thinking of a previous client, or thinking of like a family member, or thinking of someone that has the capital, just looking for opportunities, and you can probably do a joint venture and make something happen.
Yeah, definitely. And I think just work things out. Like, you don't necessarily have to have the money, and you might be working out a job that might not go anywhere, but just doing the exercise of running through the process, what it might look like if you had the money and you were going to do it. Like, figure it out, put it on paper, run a spreadsheet, figure out if you think it's profitable or not, because just doing that exercise alone is going to help you start thinking more like that. And then I feel like you're going to recognize opportunity easier when it presents itself, because you kind of got a bit of an idea. You've worked some things out before, and you got an idea of where it's going to go, or where the chips might fall.
Yeah. Because you're calling like real estate agents, you see what things can sell for, you kind of run through the exercise.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, I think. It just sort of, and it also like takes you from thinking it's impossible to like completely possible, even if you don't have the funds yet.
Yeah.
So obviously when, you had your building business, you had the development side, you've gone through like selling the earth moving business. Like, what we've established here is like not everything always goes to plan, right? And that's just life, right? So with the business and everything, when things kind of, when the chips are down, how do you keep your mind in the game? Like, have there been periods where you wanted to just like give up and go, fuck this?
Yeah, totally. There's been a lot of those. We moved out to Piha kind of around the time we were selling the development of the first stage of the development, and we'd brought this cool place in Piha, and Cyclone Gabrielle hit, and we just got the house we had just brought got nailed. So we we had to move straight out. Like we were out of the house for a year, and I had all these other chips in the air, like, you know, the building and the development, and I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, like I've got way too much on my plate. And yeah, it was dark days for sure. Like it was hard to get through, but it's really hard not to buy into the chaos, because, you know, when things are going bad, it's like you said, it's really hard to stay positive, but you've really got to try and control yourself and not buy into it, because I feel like as soon as I buy into the chaos, it gets in my head, then I start making even worse decisions because I'm not thinking clearly, or I'm being more reactive to a situation than slowing down, taking a step back and figuring out what's going on here and what the bigger picture is. So yeah, I think don't buy into the chaos, take a step back, have a look at the bigger picture. Just try and stay calm. Just try not to drink too much. That
What do you
certainly
do,
doesn't
like-
help.
Yeah, I know. Try not to drink too much. That's like easier said than done sometimes. How do you? I've actually haven't been drinking for a little while, a few days, a few weeks.
I made it a whole week last week.
Yeah. Oh, good on you.
I know. I should get a gold star, I reckon. It's a big deal for me, by the way.
Do you ever like go, oh, I need to take a couple of days off, I need to go do, like, what do you do something to kind of like snap out of it, to reset, or are you able to just like process it while you're in it?
I think I do a lot of processing while I'm in it. I certainly haven't had a lot of time to step away, probably since the cyclone. Like it's been a really intense period of my life the last couple of years. But yeah, I think I need to step away. Like even if it's just for a week, 2 weeks would be nice. But I think I spend a lot of time with the family. I really try and make a point of not working Saturdays or Sundays, and just that time away from the building site or away from the desk. I've got 3 kids and a wife, so
And a wife.
yeah, and a wife. Turns out.
How old are your kids?
9, 4, and 1.
Oh wow, yeah. So you have some of the younger ones are sort of, especially the 1-year-old, they're still,
Yeah,
you're still a little bit in the trenches there, and
yeah,
yeah. So you kind of like hang out with the kids, and you just
yeah.
talk about kid stuff and all that. You're not
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
about building.
We got good friends that are still in the Bay of Plenty and that kind of thing as well. So try and get out of Auckland a bit. A weekend here and there goes a long way, you know.
Does help, just to like, I find it, like sometimes I just need like a couple of days just to like, get out.
Yeah, bit of a reset. Get out of Auckland. It's always good to get out of Auckland for a couple of days.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah.
How do you navigate during the week, like the family and work? Like, is anything practically you do when you get home and, you know?
Nah, mate, it's home and in the trenches. Like it's walk in the door and someone's screaming. Someone's probably pissed on the floor. There's food up the walls.
Sounds like my household.
Kids. Yeah, get in your pajamas, books, bed, see ya.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, You kind of just chaos. Sometimes I stand, like, I haven't even gone in the door yet, and I can already hear the screams, and I'm just like...
Yeah, as you crack the car door open, like, oh.
Deep breath.
Here I go.
Yeah. Deep breath, here we go. It's only, you're like, obviously you want to make, you enjoy your kids when they're young as well, but but sometimes you have those days where you're like, okay, it's only like a couple of hours, let's go,
We just got to get through this. We can do this.
Let's just get his kids in bed,
Yeah.
So there's definitely that kind of element to it as well. But no, I think just a lot of people like at the moment are struggling with that mental side. I talk to a lot of guys, and even myself, to be transparent as well, especially this time of the year as well. You kind of, it starts to get a bit, sort of the business and everything like that can drain you a little bit. And you sort of got that one eye almost on Christmas, but even though it's so far away still.
Yeah, you start feeling those pressures of the end of the year coming in.
Yeah, because you got those things that you still need to do, and you feel like there's not that much time left, and you just don't have the energy well, I personally don't feel like I have the energy that I did, when it was like February or something, you know what I mean? You kind of run out of energy, but out of steam towards the end.
Yeah.
And maybe some of that is like getting away a bit more, like you say, just to recharge, to kind of kick in that last few
I think
months.
so. Even if it's a weekend down the line somewhere, you don't have to go far, just to change the scenery.
Yeah, just changing it up a little bit.
Yeah. Doesn't have to cost you, $1 million or anything.
Yeah.
Camping, that's a good one. Just go camping for a night or two. Kids love camping as well,
Yeah, they do love it,
that stuff.
No, that's good, man. But it's been good chatting with you, bro. Like, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been good.
And loving to hear all about like all the development stuff as well. I think that's cool, like doing more, because you could do more stuff for yourself and you're not always beholden to a client.
Yeah, it is. Like that element of you having some creative freedom is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see how that would be. How that would just be it'd be a bit of, it's stress, but it's also a bit of fun and a bit of like creativity and
really satisfying.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of guys would got a lot out of it, especially around those elements as well, looking for opportunities and so on. So thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Good on you, mate. Cheers.
That's it for today's episode, and thanks again to Forté for making this week's episode possible. If you're after timber surfaces that don't just look beautiful but are built to endure, Forté is leading the way with a focus on sustainability and craftsmanship and unparalleled performance. They're helping bring ambitious projects to life across interiors and exteriors.